Hey, everybody out there in Cryptid land. Thanks for joining me and my buddy Dirty tonight for a great interview with Brian Cooper. He's got a face-to-face encounter with a Bigfoot with some great details, and his wife had a face-to-face encounter with one too. And then we're going to chop it up about Bigfoot. So join us tonight on the Cryptid Quest Podcast. Hey, everybody out there in Cryptid land. We have a very special guest with us tonight, Mr. Brian Cropper, and he's going to tell us about some Bigfoot encounters, and we're going to chop it up about Bigfoot tonight. How you doing, Brian? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good.
Cool. So, Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into Bigfoot?
Well, me and my wife own Colorado Spirit Chasers here in Colorado, and I'm from Loveland, Colorado.
Okay.
And so way back 2018, we were doing an investigation in Cripple Creek, Colorado. And I actually had to drive overnight to get back to Loveland. And so my Google Maps got me the wrong directions. And I ended up outside the town of Bailey, Colorado, not knowing that it's actually a hotspot for Bigfoot encounters. So August 3rd, 2018, 7:30 in the morning, I'm outside of Bailey, the only one on the road. So I had a jet black, 9-foot tall male Bigfoot come up from the river, came at an angle towards my car.
Oh, wow.
And then went across 75 feet from my car, in front of my car.
Wow.
Yeah. And took 4 huge footsteps with the big arm swing, everything across the highway. I'm like, what am I seeing here? So I slowed my car down to 5 miles per hour as I was passing him. Got within probably 7 to 10 feet of him as he had to slow up because he had to go up the hill to get into the woods. So I saw his back legs, his back, and his head, his cone head up there. I'm like, no way. So anyhow, I got back to Loveland, startled, and I started doing a Google search for that area. And I came upon the Sasquatch Outpost and Museum in Bailey. So I called up and I talked to the owner, Jim Myers, who's a legend in this area. And he was ecstatic. He's like, where did you see it? Where did you see it? Where did you see it? I go, outside of Bailey. And he started telling me, well, you're not the only one to have a encounter out in this area. I'm like, oh my God. And so that's what got me into it and stuff. So we went back in 2019 with Jim. And little did I know that 2 weeks after I had my encounter, a mother and daughter 5 miles away up in what is called Kenosha Pass, it's a wooded area, got chased by 3 of them and got rocks thrown at them.
Oh, wow. By 3 of them.
What's that?
I said by 3 of them. Oh, wow.
Yeah, by 3 of them. And they got rocks thrown at them as they were getting into their car. So we went up there during the day and we did a couple calls and everything. And we got a tree knock and a whoop sound. And Jim's like, we got to get out of here. And I took photos, and I guess I saw in my photo 2 of them watching us out there. So anyhow, that's what got me into it. So I live in Loveland here. And so 20 miles away, I'm between Loveland and Estes Park.
Oh,
and there's a little town called Glenhaven. And they have a trail up there. So I went up there one day by myself and I did a call. And all of a sudden, oh, I'm like, yeah, I froze.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm done for the day and stuff. And so went back up there. Just recently went back up there about 2 weeks ago. And saw a lot of supposed like wood structures and everything built. And I got pictures of those. So actually, I talked to a guy that works in the forest industry, and I told him about the area. It's a trail, and he goes, "Yeah, I've had encounters up there too." I'm like, "Wow!" So I've had 3 experiences: 2 vocal, 1 visual. So up in Estes Park in April, they have Bigfoot days.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Every April. Okay. So they have celebrities come up. So got to meet Ronnie LeBlanc, Russell Accord, Renee Holland. Talked to Russell about it, and Russell was intrigued. He pulled me aside. He goes, "I need all the information that you need that I can get from you." So I got interviewed by Russell.
That's cool.
For that. Yeah. Which was an honor. And so, yeah, it's people ask me, "How did you feel?" I go, "Well, my experience, I had 12 different emotions going through me at the time."
Yeah. Yeah.
It 800 pounds of pure muscle he had to be.
So could you get any kind of idea about how tall it was?
9 feet tall.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And did you get
Go ahead.
I was
So
just going to
between
say
the river and the road, there's rocks. So he came up from the river. He climbed the rocks, and then he came up. He stood up as he was coming at an angle, about probably a 75-degree angle towards my car and stuff. And so, and then he just turned across.
And you were, did you get a look at its face at all? And I'm assuming
Yeah,
you said
it had first of all, the way I can describe it with him is the Robert Pattinson Gimlet film, the famous one from 1967. Yeah. Exactly what he looked like.
Wow.
Yeah, but a male. I could tell that he was a male. He had kind of a indented nose, kind of pushed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't really see the mouth. Could see the nose and the eyes a little bit, but he was completely covered in black.
Black, just jet black.
Jet black. And in that area, in 2016, a man and his pit bull were hiking right by this trail up there. So he was hiking, and his pit bull ran backwards towards him with her tail down. Something spooked her. So he looks up, and 50 feet away, he seen a female Sasquatch. He saw the breasts and everything. Yeah, and he actually got traumatized. He actually moved out of state.
Oh, wow.
Because he was so traumatized by it.
So all these took place in your around you in Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one just recently, there's a town called Longmont, 17 miles away from where I live. So about a month and a half ago, and this one's really strange, because normally Bigfoots, they want to hide, they want to stay out of, sight and everything. This one, apparently, this lady, older lady, 10:30 at night, full moon, saw one walking on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. No trees, nothing. All in the open. Just walking alongside the road. Incredible.
Oh, about what time of day did that happen? Was it at nighttime or daytime?
That one happened at nighttime around 10:30 at night.
Okay.
And
maybe it wasn't expecting anybody to be out, but still, you'd think. But then again, they say that if you see one, it meant for you to see it.
Exactly. And that's how I am too. With the investigations that I do, and I've got a real good one from my wife that you're going to really be going, wow, this happened in California when she was 7.
Awesome. All right.
Well, she was camping with her family. She's 38 now, but she was camping with her family. And she went on a little walk in the woods. She came face to face with one 7 feet away. And this one was also a male. Yeah. She looked down at the feet. It was grunting, sniffing the air, looking around, and then it ran off and hid. Never harmed her, nothing like that, but 7 feet away from it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That must have, how old was she at that time?
7 years old.
7. That's what I thought you
Yeah.
said. Holy cow. I couldn't even imagine seeing something like that at 7 years
Oh,
old.
and she goes back to her mom saying, I saw a bear or something. And
Yeah.
she's like, no. I mean, yeah. You imagine that being 7 years old?
Yeah, that'd be hard to wrap your mind around it. Because I can't remember when I first started seeing like In Search of and things, and you'd see like the Patterson Gimlin footage. I don't remember how old I was when I first started seeing that and realizing that there's possibility of something like that out there. I don't know if at 7 my mind was quite there yet. So if I'd have saw one at age 7, I don't know what I'd have been able to do with that in my head. Maybe. So did she think it was a bear, or did her mom try to tell her it was a bear?
Well, being that young, she thought it was, but she looked down at the feet and stuff, and she said about 7 to 8 feet tall. It was.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
imagine bumping into that in the woods?
No thanks. Especially not at that age. I mean, bumping into it'd be scary enough being an adult, but man, I couldn't even imagine being a kid.
I mean, if I would have hit him, my engine would have been in my lap.
Oh, for sure.
Was huge.
So in the one you saw, you said it was like 7:30 in the morning?
7:30 in the morning. Yep.
So it would have been daylight, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was August 3rd, 2018, so it was plenty of daylight.
Oh, wow.
In the morning.
Yeah, that's how if I saw one, that's how I would want to see it, in the daylight. For one, you're going to get a better look, and for two, even though daylight is a false sense of security, it kind of makes it a little less scary when you got some good light, and you can see everything that's going on, even though, like I said, a false sense of security.
I wasn't even looking for, that's the thing is that, with Bigfooting, they'll find, you don't look for them, they'll find you.
Yeah.
Is the thing. And that's what happened. And I have gone up to what's called Red Feather Lakes. It's about an hour north of here. Another hot spot. And I set up some trail cams, and I got eye shine of one coming up as well too.
Cool. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So me and my wife actually went up there, and we saw structures up there as well too. So then I've interviewed so many people here in Colorado. I talked to a lady at one of the Bigfoot events up in Estes, and I was talking to her, and she's like, yeah. I go, she was up in Steamboat Springs, which is northwest of here.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of years ago, she was in the tent with her husband, and all of a sudden she hears big footsteps coming around the tent, and all of a sudden a huge hand pushed against the tent and caressed her head, went across.
Wow.
You want to talk about, getting scared?
That is so odd how they do that. I mean, because you hear that a lot about them, like rubbing their hands on tents. I don't know what I would do with that. Especially if it actually touched me through the tent. So
I know. I don't know how I would handle that. I mean, that would freak me out. I mean, I've seen it and stuff, but I could not comprehend, sleeping and all of a sudden you got a big hand pushing against the tent and caressing your head and everything. It's like, my God, and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I don't. It's like.
So I started the North American Sasquatch page and stuff. And I, at that moment of time, I was really skeptical about Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
But when it happens, They're out there.
Oh yeah,
They are.
yeah, that's how, that. There's a lot of people that end up seeing them or having an encounter. That I mean, there's a good handful that do believe in them, and when it happens. But there's also a lot of people you hear their encounters, and it's like they say, "Well, I didn't believe in them at all."
Mm-hmm.
I actually interviewed a lady who said she thought the people that talked about seeing a Bigfoot or something, their head was full of spaghetti noodles because they just didn't know what they were talking about. And then she
Right.
saw one, and then it just changes everything. Just changes everything.
And we went up to well, we're moving back. We're moving to Minnesota next year back, but that's where I'm originally from. We got to go up to a town. They call themselves the Bigfoot capital of the world. Up
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah. Reamer, Minnesota.
Okay.
Finding Bigfoot's gone up there. And I've talked to witnesses up there. Talked to Minnesota Bigfoot Society up there. So we did a little investigating up there during the day too. After we got done and got a hotspot out there. So I'm not sure about this one, but I swear that we were kind of off into a dirt road. And I looked to my side and I thought I saw something trailing our car in the woods up there. So,
Well,
yeah.
You never know, man. I mean, they're out there a lot more than what people think. Whether
They
people
are.
want to believe, yeah, whether they want to believe they're out there or whether they believe or not, they're out there. They're out there, they're watching, and it seems like until you have an encounter, you just don't realize how many or how many times that they're out there and you just don't realize it. Then once you've had an experience, it's almost like you become in tune with them a little bit more. But maybe it's just your mind awakens.
And the Sasquatch Outpost and Museum is incredible too. We went actually where I had my spot in 2019, and we got footprints, big footprints in the sand
Oh
out in the
wow.
area up there
Very
too
cool.
and stuff. And I talked to a guy just recently who in South Park, Colorado, heard them all the time out in the woods, all the time out there as well too. And the thing is with Colorado, there's so many places to hide in the mountains, wooded area, everything out here.
Yeah, I know Colorado doesn't get a lot of credit for the Bigfoot sightings they have, but I think out there it's more like you just said. There's so many more places to hide,
Mm-hmm.
and the populations are very centered in certain areas, but the in between areas are just perfect territory for them. I mean,
Oh
food,
yeah, and
water,
that's what
shelter.
fascinates me about it is that because Colorado, the Front Range is all congested, okay, but you go up into the mountains and it's little towns, and there's this wooded area, mountain areas up there and everything too, and yeah, they can hide up there with no problem at all.
So, with what you the North American Sasquatch is what you is
North
your
American Sasquatch page I started, yeah,
okay.
and so
Now, do
yep,
you get a lot of encounters on there from your area
I
or just from everywhere?
all over the country. Yeah,
All over the
I've
country?
actually expanded from here, Canada, and even one in Australia as well too.
Oh, very cool. Everybody
Yeah,
loves a little Yowie action.
yeah. So I'm excited. Yeah, excited to actually start investigating Minnesota and
Yeah,
Wisconsin up in that
yeah.
area a little bit more too, and everything. So that's going to be an upper. I really want to get up into the Upper Peninsula of Michigan
Yeah.
up there,
Oh
where
my, yeah.
nobody up there.
I know. See, and that's just it. Areas like that, they don't, well, once again, kind of like Colorado, they don't get a lot of credit for everything going on up there, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that has to do with population. You
Right,
don't have as big a population there. Like California, full of people.
right.
That's why you get so many sightings there. you get up towards Minnesota, Wisconsin, into upper peninsula in Michigan, and population's not as many. So you don't have as many eyeballs to see these things.
Right.
So, you know.
And as of, what really, Ohio's really a unique area too, with so many
The old
sightings
grass man.
up there and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, man, it's getting one that close to your car.
Yeah, I can say I am envious, because I always say if I have an encounter, I want to do it in my car.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't want to be your wife and standing. I mean, I guess as long as it doesn't hurt me, but that's not going to be going through your mind, because I had an experience, but mine was purely vocalizations, and your mind in that moment is not thinking about how amazing it is. It's thinking about, what am I going to have to do to come out of this alive? So you don't really appreciate the moment until later. So,
and I always kind of go back to, what if I would have stopped and got out of the car and just watched it,
Yeah.
But at that time, it's just like, no, dude, no, I'm not going to bother this guy. No, if he wants to go up into the woods, let him go, and stuff like that.
I think getting out of the car might be pushing the envelope a little bit too far.
Yeah. I mean, my wife, look at, because I've heard stories that they don't really harm children. They kind of look at them as innocent. So she got lucky there.
Yeah.
Being that close.
I don't know that, but I'm sure it happens to where you get your bad seed, but I don't know that they really want or try or have any kind of desire to hurt people. I think a lot of the times it's just scare tactics to get us out of their area. So, because honestly, even that 9-footer that walked past your car, if he wanted to hurt you, that car ain't saving you.
Yeah.
And
it's so funny when I talked to Jim, and he just opened up another exhibit at his museum, an interactive exhibit. Just opened it, and going down to do his museum that he has at his outpost. I mean, he's got a map of everything, of all the sightings, and there's about 180 sightings throughout Colorado.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And a lot of them. So the 180 that he has recorded or mapped out, are those sightings that he got off a different page, or is that something people just came in and told him?
Yeah. And the guy that actually saw the female one, he actually rushed in there and he started chewing Jim out, saying, very funny, you're trying to drum up business, having somebody dress. And Jim's like, no, dude, there was nobody up there. If there was, somebody would have had a shotgun. And
so that happened that happened right by the museum.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
His pit bull actually got back to his car before he did. He actually cut corners through the woods. He was so scared. And I guess he had a drawing done, and I have the drawing on my phone.
Oh, cool.
Send you. But he actually he was so petrified. He actually had his phone with him. But this thing just went like that to him, just grunted. And then that's when he got out of there.
Man, that's about all it'd take for me too.
And he moved to Alaska to get away from it all. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, moved to Alaska. Man, I think he went the wrong direction.
I think so too.
What?
You're gonna get away from them, go to Nevada or something where they're down around and everything.
Man, they're down there too. I don't think there is an area you could go and not have to worry about them. I've heard of people, which blows my mind. I've heard of people seeing them in like Mexico, and it's like, it's like how? But that boggles my mind, because It just doesn't seem like a desert environment would provide enough cover, water, maybe food, but for such a large animal, it almost makes me think that they're just passing through, going from one area to another. I wouldn't think they'd stay there all the time, but I mean, what do I know? I might be totally wrong.
Right. And that's the thing that intrigued me was, where, when he, thankfully, when he had to go, because it was an upslope, he had to stop. I cannot imagine, what's going through his mind, like, oh crap, I got spotted here, I got to get out of here, kind of a thing. Because he was booking it. I mean, he was booking it. He was not walking. He was running across that highway.
So did he have it? Could you see any kind of expressions when you saw his face? Did he have any kind of expression? Just
no expressions at all.
Did he even look at you, or was he just?
I made eye contact with him.
Oh, wow.
He actually, when he came up, there was some weeds or brushes or whatever that he went through, and then he took the turn across.
Okay.
And that arm swing, oh my God, that wild arm swing.
Yeah, that's, what, you hear that must be one of the most I don't know, noticeable
terrifying
things.
Yes.
Well, terrifying, yes, but noticeable things, because when you hear an encounter, almost everybody talks about the arms. Even if they're not moving, they talk about the arms.
Right.
Like when I interviewed Todd Neese, they weren't moving. He said two of them were kind of like going back, doing the back and forth sway, and one he said was just stone steady, but he's just like the arms. And my sister had a visual on one, and that's what she said too. She's like the arms, the way they swung when it was coming across the field, and so. Man.
And 4 footsteps across the 3-lane highway. It was.
Wow.
I mean, it takes a human probably a lot to get across the 3-lane highway.
Yeah.
But for him, it was 4 steps.
Yeah, that's nuts. So your guys' page, how many reports do you get on there in like a month?
I've really gotten it going now. I got I don't even have to look. It's basically running by itself now. I've got so many people on it that and I'll send a link to you for you. But yeah, I mean, I've got nearly 700 members.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah, and so I'm just basically, I look at it at night going, okay, it's running by itself. It's successful when when people are putting their stuff in and everything too and stuff like that, and you don't have to post everything. But yeah, I've got people from Michigan, all over Canada. One guy from Michigan sending me all this stuff too and everything too, and yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It changes your life, I'll tell you that.
Bigfoot period changes your life. No matter what direction, it kind of pushes you in a direction, and you decide to go or don't go. But yeah, it's same with me. So, do you ever get any of the woo? You obviously you know what I'm talking about when I talk about the woo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's that one?
The woo?
Oh, the whoop sound? Oh yeah, yeah. The whoops. Yep.
No. Woo. Like, okay, so like when they talk about the orbs and they talk about portals and the woo, WOO. That's it. You never heard that?
I've never heard of that. No, really? I've never gotten that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So basically, let me educate you then. So whenever people talk about, I saw Bigfoot at Stella, or I saw Bigfoot and it cloaked like Predator. All that.
Yeah. That's what's interesting about that. When we in 2019, when we saw alongside the road, me and Jim and my wife, when we went alongside, we saw the big footprints. All of a sudden, they were there, but we went up and there was nothing. It's just like those right there. And then we went up the hill and we could not see anything up there at all. No footprints.
Did you look up in the trees?
Yeah. So he might have, yeah, because I know what you're talking about is that they can cloak or they can, disappear, can do all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was just those footprints.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. I've seen evidence people have presented to me that looks pretty legit. It doesn't look like they faked it. I'm not sure what box to put it in, but I like talking to people about it because it obviously happens. I think a lot of times though, I'm not saying people are lying or making anything up. And I'm sure it does happen. Those things happen, I'm sure. But I think sometimes maybe they might be mistaken. So like my theory is like when they disappear into the woods, it's kind of like when you see a deer and then all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. Well, it didn't walk through a portal. It didn't cloak. But, a Bigfoot might have, it might not, but it put that fear in your head, makes you think different things too. So, and then like when the footsteps, you talking about footsteps ending? I think maybe sometimes they'll climb up a damn tree and sit there and watch you walk underneath them looking for more footprints.
Well, I talked to, it was a couple years ago, a Bigfoot hunter up at Red Feather Lakes, up there. And he said that a restaurant was there and they were throwing away their trash.
Yeah.
They saw 2 juvenile Bigfoots going through the trash, and then they went up the tree to hide.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think the juveniles, you hear a lot more stories about the juveniles up in trees, though. You really do. Seems like, but that would make sense because that would be the safest place for a juvenile. And they're not quite as big as the adults, so they could probably handle it a little better. You get some of them 9-footers that are 1,000 pounds up a tree, it might be breaking a few branches trying to get up.
Right, yeah. It's like that, because I've seen videos like that one up in Alberta with the loggers or whatever. They saw one that was hiding in the morning or whatever in the fog, and he ripped out a tree and he tossed it 20 feet in front of him.
Yeah. They do that stuff, man. They do that. They got the strength.
The power is incredible.
Yeah. So the structures you were talking about, what did they look like? I'm curious.
The one that I saw?
Yeah.
Well, he was pretty well built. I would say about 800 pounds of pure muscle.
No. I'm talking about the structures. Structures?
Oh, I'm sorry. So, okay.
Fine.
Yeah. So it's called Kosher Trail, and it's 20 minutes from where I live here, ironically. Okay. And Glen Haven is it's a small little town, a few people. So you go out, there's a trail up there. And it's a very inclined trail. And as further you get up, the more iceland you get up there. And so I've seen a couple. I had one that I'll send you.
Okay.
That you can use. Very well structured. It's, I would say where this branch went across. It was like a teepee. Okay. One of the branches had to be about 8 feet tall up there, or 9 feet tall up there. So it's like no person could actually do that across. And this thing was well structured. And the Kenosha Pass, when we went up there, we saw some structures up there as well too.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So you said like teepees, like maybe a center and then
yeah, kind of sort of like a teepee, not really a center at all, actually. Just kind of laying against each other.
Yeah.
And then one tree was just going across. Like yeah. And that one kind of got my attention and everything. It was so well built. So I'm not saying it was, it could have been somebody built, building one, and stuff like that. I'm very articulated about structures about that. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
is
Well,
it, isn't it?
yeah, generally a lot of times I think a lot of it's attributed to weather, but there are structures. I'm not saying they're
Mhm.
all like that. You just got to be careful to watch for whether it's been actually cut or if it's been twisted or if it's been uprooted. Did it fall from this general area? Did it get brought from another area? Because
Mhm.
I've had people say that when they've seen, like you said, these TP structures, and they'll lean them up kind of like against each other in a teepee
Mhm.
fashion, but they didn't fall like that because this tree obviously came from 10 feet over that way. Well, this tree that's right here came from over there. This tree, that's on this side came from over there, and you can kind of figure it out. Well, something had to put this stuff here. It didn't just blow from all these different directions and land like this. So
Right, and that's what I look at too. I look at, when I get up close with them, I look at that. Okay, was it sawed off or was it broken off? Kind of
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And this one was broken off.
So do you guys ever get any reports of orbs? Or do you know what I'm talking about with the orbs? I mean,
Not well,
if
paranormal
you
wise, we do.
if you yeah, I know.
With our
If you think it,
investigations, we do. We go all over the country too. By the way.
so is
Uh,
that what got you started? I mean, do you still do the paranormal stuff
oh
too,
yes,
or
yep.
yeah?
Me and my wife do the paranormal. We do Bigfoot. Um, we go out to some of the most haunted places in America. We just went out to Iowa, did the Villisca Axe Murder House in Villisca, Iowa,
Oh,
out there.
all right.
Yeah, it's been on Ghost Adventures, Kindred Spirits, very haunted place. Got 100 recordings, lights under a bed against one of the where two of the girls were killed. We had lights against the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't find out where the source of the lights came from.
Oh wow. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
we got a ball moving by itself. One of the spirits actually overrid our program in one of our paranormal and pieces, our Boo Bear, which has a phonetic generator, it asks questions. And her name was Lena, and she goes, "Hey, I'm Lena. Hi, I'm Lena. Do you want to play?" And my wife's just like, "Oh, I'm out of here."
Yeah, I don't want to play with somebody that's 500 years old. Sorry.
Yeah. And so with orbs on the woods, no, I've never experienced that.
Okay.
The tree knocks, the footsteps, the sightings and everything. Yeah. And so, but yeah, I've heard about that, and kind of the UFO connection with Bigfoot as well too.
Yeah, I don't know what box to put any of that in. I've seen an orb in the woods, but I'm not saying it was Bigfoot. It just happened to happen in the same
Mhm.
area I had my experience. So that's why one of my questions I like to ask people and just get their take on it, because
You're
it
right.
doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. And some
Oh
people it
yeah,
happens
and
to a lot.
I've seen that. Expedition Bigfoot, they've had those on there too, I do believe, right? On some of their episodes they've
Oh,
seen.
I'm sure they have. I haven't watched this year's season of
Hmm.
Expedition Bigfoot, but I'm sure they have. They cover a lot of stuff on that show.
Yeah.
So
Russell LaCour's an incredible guy, and so is
yeah,
Ronnie,
yeah.
and stuff. And so I know Renee, when I told her about sure, she's like, "I'm so jealous of you." She goes, "I want to see one so bad." I go, "Yeah, it changes
Oh,
your life, I'll
Renee,
tell you
yeah,
that."
yeah, yeah. I definitely. Bigfoot changes your life. You could say that a million times, it'll be true every time.
Definitely. And when we move up to Minnesota, I definitely want to get over to Michigan as well too, and kind of because that's another hot spot as well too.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Uh, Hell, anything up that way. I just talked to who was it, Thomas Sui last week, and he's up in British Columbia, and it sounds like they're everywhere up there. So and I know they're down here in the Ozarks too because I've had experiences.
Oh, you guys got
Seen,
plenty of activity down there. I've seen
yeah, we
some.
got. Yeah, I'm right on the border of Arkansas, and it seems like a little bit further south you go, we're in a I think our area doesn't get enough credit because, you know, we got Missouri, Oklahoma, East Texas ain't far, Arkansas. Man, there's a lot of stuff that happens in these hills out here.
I know that Josh Gates, his
Oh, yeah.
show just went down there and they got activity down in the Ozarks up there too.
Yeah, that was 5 minutes from my house.
No way, really?
Yeah, I'm not even bullshit. I know the people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So have
Yeah,
you
yeah.
heard any sounds from that creature?
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it. Me and my wife have heard it back here, just sitting back behind the house. There's been like 3 or 4 separate occasions where we just been sitting there, and I don't give the wood knocks a whole lot of credit if I think I hear a wood knock, but when I hear a whoop back there, it's obvious. It's coming from the deep woods, and it's like whoo, and she's new into the Bigfoot thing, so. And I won't say anything. I'll sit there. When I hear it, I'll just sit there and she'll be like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "Yep, I heard it.
And you guys got so much vegetation out there too. And
oh, yeah, yeah.
so
You can't see 5 feet into the woods. So if something's 10 feet in the woods, you ain't seeing it. So
I need to get down there.
Yeah, and then there's been, this was about a month ago, and it happened like 3 separate times. The first 2 times I didn't hear it. She heard it. We leave our bedroom. Well, I probably shouldn't say that. Our bedroom window open at night. Come on over, everybody that wants to break into our house. But she likes it for the air. She had the window open, and she told me the next day, she's like, I heard something making some weird sounds. She said it woke me up and it woke Kitty up, our cat. It was like a couple nights later. She's like, I heard it again. Third time it happened, she woke me up, and I couldn't tell what the hell it was. There's something out there. It was making a really loud howl. It wasn't a dog, wasn't a coyote. It sounded more human, but it was going on at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And so, yeah, I've heard it several times out here. I've not seen it. And the Josh Gates thing that you're talking about, they were coming down to check for the Ozark howler, and that's what they were looking for. And the guy that they went to his house, I think that's how they promoted the episode and everything too. But the guy that they went to his house, he said that wasn't no Ozark howler. He's like, it's a Bigfoot. And he showed me tracks that he took pictures of in the snow that went right past this house. And the weird thing about these tracks were there's 2 sets, a large set and a small set right next to each other going. And about 20 feet before the tracks reached his house,
yeah,
the little tracks disappeared. Mama picked baby up because they were going by the house. I guarantee it. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Well, one guy in Bailey actually took photos of one looking through his window up in Bailey, where I had mine. Yeah, up there at night and stuff. And so he even have a show on Tubi about Bailey up there, the Bigfoot of Bailey. Yeah, up there.
So another thing that was pretty cool about the guy that was on Expedition X, he showed me some game cam pictures that he had. And you ever heard of a gugway?
No, I haven't.
Okay, that's a type of Bigfoot that's supposed to be really, really super aggressive. They're supposed to have different facial features, like they look more like a baboon than a man or a gorilla. And when he showed me one picture of the game cam took of just a blank shot of this spot, and you could tell it was just trees and woods and stuff. The exact same time of day, same like sunlight hitting it, same angle, same everything, and there's a face. You can see a face staring out of the woods, and it looks like a baboon.
Wow.
Which is a little scary because that's the one I don't want to run into. They say those are like the meanest of the mean when it comes to like a Bigfoot. Because
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because I've heard of several types, as you might say. You know, you got like the skunk ape type. You got, well, like the patty type. Gugway is one that you don't hear about a lot, but that's the one out of all of them. That's the one I don't want to run into. It
Well,
seems like
supposedly,
the South have a worse at it.
there was one guy. It was on a show, but he was a hunter with his buddy. I think it was in California or Oregon, and they, shot one. He shot it from the car during the day. He shot a male. Then he got out. They saw a juvenile, and he shot that one to death and hit it and stuff and buried it, and actually cradled the juvenile in his arms as it was dying.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way I know that they say they're going to have to kill one to prove existence, but man, my heart goes out to these creatures. They just don't want nothing to do with us, and I don't blame them. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't blame them. Let them be in peace. You know, if one ends up getting killed because it's attacking somebody or threatening somebody, okay, I can understand that. I just got a little, maybe a little bit of.
I know that one was sad.
That is sad, man. Man, why'd you have to? We're right here towards the end of the show, and you got to depress me.
Well, the thing is, that the guy, he got a Bigfoot expert to come out there, and the body was gone. And so I think that they took the body, came back and took it and stuff and buried it. Which is, another fascinating thing is that, people, well, if they exist, where's the bodies?
Yeah.
I think they have a very, unique way of burying their dead, so we can't find them.
Yeah, they have to. I agree with that.
And also, too, is, also with, I've heard the cave systems, stuff, and I've talked to a guy that lives in Colorado Springs who does Bigfooting. And he said, yeah, there's a lot of caves up in the Bailey area, up in where you had your sighting up there. So they can easily go and hide.
Oh, yeah. Missouri's the cave state. There's caves everywhere. Yeah. Where I had my experience, there was I spent that afternoon exploring a cave by the river, and I had my experience that night about a mile away from there.
Wow.
And then I heard the vocalizations. They were down by the river. I've heard a lot of vocalizations off the Merrimack River. And I met Matt Moneymaker once and was telling him about my encounter down there. And he's like, oh, a lot of stuff happens on the Merrimack. I
got to get down in that area. I mean, definitely head down there, kind of should connect sometime up there and go down there and, do one. That'd be awesome.
Hey, you ever come out this way, holler at me.
I will, I mean, we're going to be, there's a really cool video up, it's on YouTube of northern Minnesota during Christmas time, 2014. A lady was videotaping her friends and everything inside the house. And she peers out by the garage and they saw one walking. And so they go out and they see it walking alongside the woods. During the day, the dog actually was barking at it as well too.
Was there snow on the ground in this video?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, I think I have seen it. Yeah, I've seen that. That's a good one.
That one is awesome. It came by the shed and then it went out back into the woods and everything, and it was just going alongside.
Yeah. Now stuff like that seems legit to me, man. People are like, you know what? I would be so worried. If I had a Bigfoot come up to me while I'm in the woods and I got to take a picture of it from a foot away, I'd be scared to share it with anybody because you're gonna get massacred. People don't believe anything you put out anymore. Which, I mean, I kind of get it because there's so many people trying to hoax, but you can only imagine how much valuable video, audio, encounters that do not get shared just because people don't want to be made fun of and get ridiculed. And it's not just the non-believers that are ridiculing. It's the Bigfoot community. Bigfoot community, start doing better. Do better.
I had to get on. That's why I started my page. To be honest with you, that's why I started it. And I've told everybody that have joined, don't, one guy, is it okay to post? I go, buddy, this is why I created it in the first place. For everybody can come, feel safe. Don't be ridiculed of what you believe in. Because these other sites, you get these freaking people that, you're full of, what, and everything like that. And it's just,
Yeah.
That's why I created my page. It's just so everybody can come, feel free to express their sightings, their beliefs, everything like that. And everybody's just like, wow, that's cool. I go, well, yeah. I mean, it's
Very cool.
You get ridiculed. You do. I know a guy that he loves doing it, but he's like, no, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm going to get ridiculed, and stuff like that. But don't worry about it. You're going to have these people out here that are idiots that are just out there just to say, oh, yeah, the Robert Patterson film, that's a costume. No, that's not a costume. That's a female, and stuff like that. And yeah, it just kind of angers me a little bit that you have those people out there that just ridicule us and everything. And it's like, if you want to ridicule, go out in the woods by yourselves and go out there and have an experience.
Yeah.
You know what? It's going to change your mind.
It changes a lot of people's minds, but the people that are out there bitching ain't going to go do that because they don't want to know the truth. They just want to sit around and be naysayers.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's life.
It's funny because the Robert Patterson film up in the University of Minnesota, they tried to have their best athlete walk like that, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah,
he couldn't do it because of the way that she bent and everything and walked. He couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, their body structure is not like ours. I mean, granted, they have 2 legs, 2 arms, and a head, but it don't work the way ours works. No.
So, and interesting about that is one guy actually really looked into that film, and he saw that where her fur by her legs were kind of rubbed off because her arm kept rubbing against her body when she's walking.
Yeah, well, I mean that. Don't get me going on a tangent. I mean that.
Well, did you know? Did you know though when they with that film, which I love? Another one is the up in Oregon. That man, I forget his name. He would always go up and look, and then he finally saw one going through the woods up in Oregon. But Robert Patterson, when she's just about to go up into the woods, I guess they saw another one looking through the woods or whatever.
Yeah. There's been talk that there was other ones, and some people say they saw them in the video. Some people say they didn't. But yeah, there's a lot of rumors going around that there were more than one. But something that's kind of interesting is Todd Neese just gave me a print, a cast of a print that came from Bluff Creek, but it came from Bluff Creek and was cast, I think he said 6 or 8 years before the Patterson Gimlin film.
Oh wow! Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of activity up in that area.
Because I made the mistake of saying, "Wow," I'm like, "Cool, a print from Patty," and he's like, "Well, it might be, but." He's like, that's not from when they filmed it. And I'm like, I thought you said it was from Bluff Creek. He's like, it is. Who? And I forget. He's going to kill me because I forget. It was one of the four horsemen cast it and then gave it to him. But he said, yeah, it got cast like 7 years before that even took place. And I was like,
that's
wow.
Amazing.
Yeah. I was like, wow. I mean, that's, but it makes sense. It makes sense that they were there 10 years, probably 50 years, 100 years before that film. They're there today.
Well, that's where the Sasquatch name came from the Native Americans. That's where the name came from. So they've been interacting with people even before we settled.
Oh,
They
100%.
interacted with the Indians as well too, and stuff. And so that's amazing. The Sierra Sounds are another ones that are fascinating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard almost every single one of them in person.
Yeah.
In one night. In one night. I heard almost every single one of them sounds in person. But
it's funny because when I did my up in Glenhaven, he probably had to be maybe 17 feet away from me.
Yeah.
Up there. And it was a growl of, you know what? Don't come any further, kind of a growl.
Yeah.
And I just stopped. I was like, I'm not pressing my luck. I'm like, I came when I look for and stuff like that. And, it's like, it's.
Like I said earlier, if they want to hurt you, they can hurt you. That growl was like, just, hey, back off.
Oh, definitely. It's like the guy that the 911 calls up in Olympic Peninsula, the famous 911. What week before, one threw his dog and killed his dog or whatever. And
grabbed his dog. Oh my God, grabbed his dog and threw it onto his. It was a German Shepherd. It was threw it on the roof of his house.
German Shepherd?
Yeah, it was a German Shepherd. Threw it on the roof of his house, and then I love that. I love it. And when he says on the call, he says, I don't know, a man or something, but Ron Moorhead interviewed the guy after the call.
I heard about that.
And he said, he told Ron that he said, I knew it was a Bigfoot, but when I called 911, I didn't want to say that because I was afraid they wouldn't send anybody out. Right. So you hear him kind of stammering, and he's like, man, or something that looks like a man.
It's looking at me.
What's it doing in your yard? Looking at me. Oh, God, he's big. It sends chills up my spine every time I hear that. Oh,
well, it's famous because there's another interesting one that people really have never. The famous psychics, the Warrens.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever heard? So one town in Pennsylvania was kind of having problems with a Bigfoot. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, this is really not our area, but we'll come and investigate. So she telepathically talked to the Bigfoot, and it was actually hurt and stuff. And it was actually innocent. He's like, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to scare them. And she saw blood trails and everything. She saw it, and then it ran off. She saw blood trails and everything. It was hurt. But she successfully telepathically talked to one.
That's the woo I was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really cool that he was able to do that.
Yeah. That is.
And it was innocent.
Yeah. Well.
And so that one's fascinating too. I mean, I cannot wait when we're moving up there next December. It's going to be cold. And we're going to start investigating up in the Reamer area, up in northern Minnesota, up in the Canadian areas up in there and everything too. I can't wait to see what we find up there. That's going to be interesting.
Well, you'll definitely have to let us know what you do find, but unfortunately for now, we're out of time, brother.
All right.
Hey, Brian, thanks for being on Cryptid Quest tonight with us, and everybody out there in Cryptid Land, keep it creepy.
That's right.
Yeah, out in the woods where the shadows creep, I'm trying to find the legend that the people keep. Bigfoot's the name, got a story to tell. Footprints in the mud, can't you hear the bell? Whispers in the night, can you feel that chill? Bigfoot on the run, he's a legend, keep it real. Bigfoot, yeah, he's the talk of the town. Creeping through the trees, never wearing a frown. Legend of the forest, he's got a big stride. As the trap beats thump, you know he's got pride. like I'm on a quest. Searching for the homie, you know he's the best. Got my camera ready, heightened senses on blast. Snap a shot of Sasquatch, legend unsurpassed. Eyes in the dark, you can't catch what you can't see. King of the woods, living wild and free. Bigfoot, yeah, he's the talk of the town. Creeping through the trees, never wearing a frown. Legend of the forest, he's got a big stride. As the trap beats thump, you know he's got pride.